The show is about two grieving mothers, Chao-Chin and Hui-Chun, whose daughters Xin-Yi and Jin-Jin were victims of Shikai, a scammer who ran a human trafficking ring disguised as an online job network. The girls were beaten, exploited, and in Xin-Yi's case, killed. Jin-Jin survived but ended up in a coma. When the legal system fails to bring them peace, the mothers turn to a mysterious goddess who can resurrect the dead, but only for 7 days. As they can't bring their daughters back, they make a chilling choice. They resurrect Shikai himself, planning to torture him for weeks straight before sending him back to hell. At first, revenge drives everything, but as the days pass, the women realize that hurting him won't heal them. It just keeps them trapped in the same nightmare, so they shift gears. Instead of killing him, they decide to outsmart him by scamming him. Poetic justice, making a scammer the one getting conned. Hui-Chun and Chao-Chin team up with Isan, a younger guy who helps them get close to Shikai's family. His supposed mother Chia Feng and sister Christina. Plan: use Isan as bait to seduce Christina and access her crypto wallet. But the deeper they dig, the uglier the truth gets. Turns out Chia Feng isn't really Shikai's mom. She is the real criminal mastermind who used him as her puppet. She was running the entire operation from the shadows, promising to protect Christina as long as Shikai did her dirty work. Shikai tells Chao-Chin that Jin-Jin wasn't the hero everyone thought, that she'd helped lure the girls into the scam and even had feelings for him. It's a lie, but it works. The fragile trust between the mothers falls apart. Chao-Chin kidnaps Jin-Jin from the hospital, convinced her friend's daughter was part of the reason Xin-Yi died. At the same time, Chia Fen sends her goons after Isan to recover the wallet, and everything collapses at once. The finale rewinds to the horrific past that started it all. Back when Shikai held the girls captive, he forced them to hurt each other for fun. Xin-Yi refused to play, and Jin-Jin, desperate to stop the madness, cut herself instead. She even risked everything to alert the police by slipping a note to a bank teller. At that time, Shikai was in a relationship with Anchi, the lawyer's daughter, who was also captured. She was basically his girlfriend. She begged him to let Xin-Yi go, but he ignored her. When the raid came, Jin-Jin ran to save Xin-Yi, but it was too late. Xin-Yi was already dead. And here is the heartbreaking part. Jin-Jin wasn't the traitor, she was the one who tried to save everyone. But during the chaos, Anchi panicked and pushed Jin-Jin off a balcony. That fall is what put her in a coma. Anchi confesses all these years later to Chao-Chin, explaining that Shikai had manipulated her too, convincing her that Jin-Jin was the traitor. In the end, all of them were victims of the same monster. Meanwhile, Hui-Chun confronts the resurrected Shikai one last time. He tries to twist everything, preaching about fate and forgiveness, saying that only God can judge him. But Hui-Chun isn't buying it. She tells him that his mother Chia Peng plans to use the charity event that night to launder all the crypto money, and she offers to help him. The final showdown happens at the charity event, a front for Chia Feng's money laundering operation. Chao-Chin shows up ready to expose her with evidence, but before she can act, Hui-Chun poisons the water, causing chaos. Chia Feng's men grab Chao-Chin, lock her in a cage, and delete her video proof. Then Shikai shows up, guns blazing. He shoots Chia Feng's goons, stabs her for the wallet code, and finishes her off, just like she once taught him. For a second, it looks like he's in control again, then Pong, the women's ally, attacks him, and the two tumble off a ledge. Shikai survives long enough to chase Chao-Chin through the chaos, taunting her like he always has. Just as he is about to pull the trigger, Hui-Chun appears, gun aimed at both of them. She asks if Chao-Chin killed Jin-Jin. Chao-Chin says no, but Shikai insists she's lying. It looks like Hui-Chun believes him and shoots Chao-Chin. Shikai smirks, thinking he's won. He admits he's been deceiving both of them the whole time. He reveals that none of the three girls ever betrayed each other. Someone else tipped him off years ago. He tells them they're just like their daughters, always doubting each other, never trusting anyone. But then Hui-Chun says she trusts Chao-Chin, and that's when Chao-Chin stands up unharmed. The shot was fake. The women had planned this all along. Realizing he's been played, Shikai starts to fade. His 7 days are up. The last thing he hears is Chao-Chin reminding him that he doesn't get a second chance. He disappears into thin air, taking his sins with him. After everything, the two mothers part ways peacefully. Chao-Chin tells Hui-Chun that an air ambulance is taking Jin-Jin home, and she should go with her. They hug, finally letting go of the hatred that's been eating them alive. Then Pong shows up out of nowhere, takes the wallet from them, and tells his men to let the women go. Promises to handle whatever fallout comes from it himself. Meanwhile, the ambulance ambulance carrying Jinjin gets stopped by cops ordering everyone inside to get out. Then we cut to a flashback to a scene between Shikai and Yang where they talk about social media influencers helping boost their recruitment and profits. Shikai tries to convince Yang to let his mother retire, warning that if she doesn't, Yang might have to take her out. Turns out Jinjin had actually been working with Yang behind the scenes. She'd warned him that Shikai was already plotting to take out his own mother, and that if he could betray her that easily, there was no reason to think he wouldn't turn on Yang next. She then offered him a plan. If he really wanted to shut down the compound, she could leak information to the police and pretend to be one of the victims. That way, the law would take care of both Shikai and his mother without costing Yang a thing. She even pointed out that he always talked about wanting to give young people opportunities, and well, she was younger than Shikai. Then, in the final moments, Jinjin suddenly opens her eyes in the ambulance, and that's where the series ends. So Jinjin, the girl everyone thought was helpless, might have been the one pulling the strings from the start. Her awakening isn't just a miracle, it's justice coming full circle. The mother's revenge, the resurrection, all the lies, it all leads back to her. With Jinjin now awake, the story isn't over. The real question is, what will she do next?